Good morning, traders. It is Saturday, December 13th, 2025, and today I'll be assessing key levels for Robinhood markets using the wick engulfing block method, where I am aiming to find groupings of one, in this case, to 5 candles, and taking the top, the biggest, the highest wick, or I want to get the top 20% of the wicks engulfed at each level as I move in order to find strong liquidity zones. Generally, by the end of the charting process, I want to have 6 to 10 of these key level zones, because I found that for swing trading at least, if I do more than that, two things happen. One, I get confused about which is the strongest key level, and then number two is a lot of times the risk reward just isn't really there. You'll get, if we'll see with Robinhood, but definitely with cheaper stocks, which was my strategy, to try to allow my 1% risk to 3% risk be the cost of one option. With that being the case, which is like $100 to $300 for me, certain stocks just didn't seem to give a good RR, so I'm trying a slightly more premium stock here. So the 3-month time frame. Here's a nice grouping of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks, or candles. I'll just take 6 and go to the top of this candle body. But mainly price is up here, so because price is up here, also focus on here. So once we're done with this process, we'll kind of check these key levels with the volume profile, and we'll also, at least around the price, the trading area, we will ask AI, hey, how many, well, depending on how many key levels we get, so 6 to 10 hopefully, I will ask AI, hey, what are the strongest 6 to 10 key levels, and then kind of try to align, correlate, match those key levels. So we're going to go to the 1 month time frame. And do the same process. The 1 month, December 12th, or no, it's not the 12th, it's the 13th. And let's go 1 month web, wick engulfing blocks. And also change the color. Now we'll keep going. Let's get on 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to this high zone. Also get this low zone. But it seems to be about the same as the previous. Wow. This is not really that many key levels. It's pretty much the same. I don't really give anything new with this one. I'll give something. But again, it's so far away from price. The biggest gap I see up to there. Variety gap. Look at the 2 week. I don't normally do the 2 week anymore. I used to a lot, but just because that was extremely quick. I'm just kind of double checking, looking again. Okay, I think that's good for now. When we do our checks with the volume profile and AI, that'll help us fill in maybe any missing. So I'll type in kilo, and then basically areas that are overlapped heavily, I will be placing a key level there at different zones, either overlapped or if they create these little gaps. And sometimes in these voids, there's key levels as well, especially if there's a large kind of spacing. But we're just going to copy these down to about a 50% position of the structure I'm pulling it into. Okay, that's really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually really nice. And you can see on the 2 week. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 1 month. And basically 2 opportunities to enter. And you had 2 opportunities to get this key level, so you had about a month to get this key level, two chances. And it pushed back up, but it's losing strength and it's powering back down. But how much will it power down? Will it bounce off of there and try again, or just kind of move sideways? We don't know. So here's the volume profile. What I'm generally looking for here is these valleys or these peaks. Key levels should in some way, shape, or form be aligning with those. So that's pretty dang close to this valley. Pretty close to the valley. Pretty spot on with the valley. This thicker white line is the POC line, or point of control. So with this particular view, so if I move it, it can change. But I like the 2 week because typically the 2 week reflects the more accurate version of what I'm looking for. Look at it one more time here. It still is in a peak. I'm sorry, in a valley. Kind of in a peak / valley. That could be raised up a little bit more. So that this triple block actually may be more of a bit of a support, which I previously hadn't considered as strongly because they're really struggling to get back down below. In which case, 50% of that block actually may be the better key level. And then, as mentioned, we'll go to AI. What are the strongest 6 key levels for Robinhood stock in 50 words in a grid? So I really like this because it's a great quick check. So right now Robinhood's at 119. So we have 117. Let's go back. So I got 15, 17, 25, and 30. So generally I'm going to try to take 2 below current price and 2 above. So we have $2. It's 119.50 currently. So 117, 115, 125, 130. So we'll look over here. And so that's in this area, 115 to 117. We're saying there's a strong key level. It's definitely true. I can see these wicks. If I grabbed those, it would literally fill this zone. However, again, if I put a key level here and disregard this, I sort of feel that I've just been punished more often for trying to do that than not. I mean, that could be a key level, but nothing's highlighting it. Okay. 130 kind of looks good because it's right in the middle of this void. 125. It's right there. That's on a peak. When it comes over to the volume profile. Okay. But I'm going to go with this more minimal approach. Try this out for Robinhood. If I need to add some, I will. Because yeah, this is a great point right here. And I actually had tried doing something. I think I was in profit when it hit 137 and then caught some of this. Maybe caught some of this down. Can't remember which one. It's probably about a month ago. Alright. So now that we have the key levels, I will pause the video, I think, and move over to the journal. For HOOD. I'm going to do a little momentum reading. I'm going to create these indicators, oscillators, individually on the 2 week, 2 day, and 8 hour. Input the score, and then I'll be ready to see if there could be a trade. So right now on the 2 week, I use a grading scale, 3 to 6, 3 being super short, 4 being short, 5 being long, and 6 being super long. Because there's about to be a crossover on in the bullish kind of territory here. It's definitely short unless it bounces, of course, which it can, of course, because it's been ultra bullish. It's been ultra bullish, it could just tap and recover. But how it stands at this very second, the dominating trend is certainly short. I'll give that a 4. This is moving in a short direction. I'll give it a 4 because it's above the 50. And this one, though, I would say that this is actually long because, damn, look at that. Even though things are cooling, I would say it's long. So 4, 4, 5. 2 out of 3 is 4. And we'll go to the 4 day just to kind of see. Definitely looking kind of weak. However, this has been a support for RSI. This has been doing higher highs. And so is this. You can see the type push down. Possible. So, pop back up. Continue on to February or March. Let's look at the 2 day. That's definitely looking, I would call that a 3. Because that just seems inevitable to cross. Also 4 because it's still above the 50, even though signal is dragging it down. It could chop around, and I would call this a 3. Wow, so 3, 4, 3. That's saying it's a medium short, and that's actually another interesting thing. All of these lights, which I reviewed yesterday, December 12th, they were all horrible risk-reward ratios. That was Clean Spark, Sound, Ford, and GME. But now that we have a medium short, That's pretty good. There's at least more likelihood that we'll get some activity. We'll go to the 8-hour. See, missed it, kind of rejected off of this, actually, showing weakness. We have a bit of divergence here. This is higher, this is lower, this is lower, this is higher. Same thing here. And I wouldn't have entered any trade, wouldn't have been any trade, I would have still been waiting. It would have been nice to get in there, bounced off. This would be a 3. This would be a 3, and this kind of hanging, floating, not quite sure. Call it a 4, so 3, 3, 4. 3, so it's a trending trade. Now we'll go to options profit calculator. This is a great, I'm just going to refresh. This is a great website if you don't use it to get price points and to convert. So I like to go 2 months out. It's December 13th. Really, this. But 12 to 13 is, or I'm sorry, 1 to 2 months is generally going to be my minimum trade time. I typically go at the money and just take the cheaper option. So right now it's saying one option will cost 1,400 almost. Since we have determined this is a medium short, we're going to draw our risk reward boxes. But first, I'm seeing a short. So it's short from here, which could be seen as a key level, down to the actual key level. So as of the moment, it's attacking. Cancel that. It's trying to attack the 110 level, and we chose Feb 20 calls or puts. So right there. So this 618 line basically tells me if I do enter this trade, it could take a couple days to fill, potentially, especially if I'm trying to get to this level. Might try to retest. If it retests, I'd want to wait. Or you could always get in, just look at the momentum reading, especially once it's inside this first stop. The 382 would be my first stop, and the 0.5 would be my last potential stop. We're going short. I like to put it on this offset entry from the key level, and then target 1 would be 0.5. Copy that over once, twice, and target 2 would be 618, target 3 would be 786. So now we'll take these values 115.90 down to 100 for checking out what profits could be. This is a put. No. Puts. Go up 2 months. Take the cheaper one. 116 to 100. Calculate. Okay. This is better. So, if you recall, the GAN box vertical at the 618, the date for this is 27 Jan, and potential limit date is, today. Probably not, because I don't know if it's quite close enough. I could clearly bounce off of this level. Could have a bounce before we come back in, finally bounce, but that could stop me out. There's a gap. We'll just continue on. So 111.50 is the ideal entry. So let's look at, I like to offset by 1 or 2 days. 111.50 be 13.88. So yeah, it's not a good time to enter. It's just too far off. So I don't think there's a trade here at the moment for me. I would want it to be a little bit closer to this key level. So then I would read the momentum. So I'll undo that so it's there. But I'm waiting for it to more get it like in this area before I consider setting limit orders. Alright everyone. So sorry there wasn't much progress here. At least we got our key levels defined, which is always a good thing. And I may need to add additional key levels, but I really do want to practice having maybe instead of 6 to 10, 6 to 8. But I guess it depends on the stock, because sometimes these bigger cap stocks or mid cap stocks, you still get good like appreciation on price with smaller moves. And key level, I think we had seen 130 as a strong key level previously. AI, and I'd say maybe something in here, but we're a little ways off from there at the moment, especially since it, really blasted through from here. Technically from here to here, because I have to wait July to May, 1 month. So a lot can happen in a month. Go up, come back down, all the way up. Yeah, I like this. Alright guys, have a great Saturday. Thank you.